wonder if I should mute my... no, you're gonna... It's all on stream, so it doesn't matter. Hello! Welcome to the Ashien mystery. Just to make sure everyone knows, this is a mystery full of intrigue and danger and politics, maybe, possibly, if I can do it very well. This is a tabletop game, not sim. Tabletop game. I created the system, so it's supposed to be really easy to use. You only technically need a d20 and a d6 to play the entire thing, and to work out all your stats and stuff. So I've been talking to the housemates, as I have called them. Welcome to the game. We're officially playing.
Woo!
Yay.
Woo! Cool. So, as you know, all great stories start with wind, and some end with wind, but imagine, if you will, a desert wind blows across the desert, because that's where it originated, across the sands, across the valleys that are created by sand, and into a great big place that is the location of the sigil. The sigil occurs every year, and it's a meeting of the great representatives or leaders of the wonderful houses that make up the empire. So you'll find all sorts of, I don't even know what to call them, entities, if you will. Fairies, pixies, humans, elves, trolls, anything you can imagine that may live in the empire. They all represent themselves at the sigil, and this is the first day. Their respective houses have come and set up their areas, prepared them for the several days that they'll be spending here, but according to the rules, we only have 2 representatives from each house. That still means there are a ton of people here, from all walks of life, all sorts of abilities, all sorts of endeavors are represented. And with that wind, we will swoop down onto, actually, this way, inside the arena itself, as representatives of the cog find themselves on the outskirts of the arena right here, as a battle is ensuing inside. Many deals are struck at the sigil in order to prepare each house for the upcoming year, and some of those deals are not only agreed upon, but they are struck with violence or a test of might in order to promote the other person, the other house, into engaging in the deal. So we find our fine cogger here at this pathway. What does your character look like, and what's their presence? You know, where do they come from?
True. Wait, am I in the arena or am I outside the arena?
You're just outside on this, it's like a walkway, I guess. You can see into the arena, though.
Hold on, thank you. That would be the first one.
Yeah, well, I mean, randomized rolls made you first, so yeah.
Okay. We have Bramwell. He is a... What?
That's the character you're playing? Is Bramwell?
Yeah, I'm playing Bramwell.
Okay. Got it.
He's a... Or should I be in character, or should I just...
Yeah, we're going to play through in character, definitely, so... But, I mean, just to explain them and what they look like and stuff, you don't have to be in character.
Oh, yeah, he's like 40, or he's 39 years old, and he's human, and he's very good looking. Holy moly! There's a picture of him I posted. He's very suave looking, steampunk, 1920s kind of aesthetic. Yeah, like great. He's
Excellent.
he's very charming, man. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Awesome. So Bramwell finds himself.
He's smoking. Maybe he's got drinking a little gin.
Good. Thank you for bringing your own booze. Although the venue also
we have the finest gin in
supplies.
Coggerton. Best botanicals we grow.
Bramwell, you find yourself at the edge of this very fierce battle that is occurring just inside the arena. There are people taking bets. A woman to your left. Okay, let me turn you around. A woman to your left as you watch. Nope, that's right. Leans over and asks if you're interested in placing a wager on either of the combatants. Says,
can you do her? Can you?
Yeah, hold on.
What'd she say?
She says, hey, you gonna get in on this action? And she holds up sort of a notepad that she has created of the different individuals who are keeping track of the fight and who may win. She's got several notes listed of different values, and then one of them scratched out.
Is that one on your paper all scratched out there? What's going on? You you into some side bets or anything? Money on the side?
This one here, she points at it. This guy tried to pay in lint and yarn and stuff. He thought he thought it would suffice for Sphere, so I sent him packing. He's down the way a little bit, and you do see like a odd troll looking sort of satyr person walking away down the path.
I raised my eyebrow. Nice.
Everyone says, ooh, as the person who is fighting inside with the sword, there's a gentleman, sort of a dapper looking gentleman in a sword, manages to strike a pretty good hit into the shoulder of the other person who's fighting. She says, you better get in here quick. I think the sword man might take it all soon.
No, I'm not interested. I'm just here to watch the gore.
Oh, well, you're in for a treat then. I think these guys hate each other, and they continue to swing on each other.
Fantastic. Good job, chaps. Good job.
The gentleman with the rapier strikes into the other shoulder in a quick motion up into the other shoulder. And as they turn, you see that the other person is from the Camelos house. It's a famous house across the Empire, known for its fighters. But they are minotaurs with camel heads instead of ox heads or any of those other heads that minotaurs may have. So he's big and burly and bulky and wielding an axe, and he occasionally spits to the side as he fights, trying to find purchase into this shorter, quick gentleman's guard.
Ma'am, I have a question, ma'am.
Okay, go on.
Where does the blood go? Does it drain down does it get collected, or does it just stay there?
She leans in close and she says, rumor has it there is something that comes out at night and eats from the remains on the arena. And she's leaning close, and you hear everyone say, "Oh!" again as the Camelos gentleman manages to smash his axe down into the thigh of the rapier person who's fighting, and she says, "I think it's going to eat well tonight."
What do they do with the corpses? They just leave them there? They take them out? Oh god, my voice changed. What do they do with the corpse?
I guess a fish person, Murloc, behind you, sort of like raising his spear that he's carrying around. He says, you could just yield. No one dies at the sigil. This is clearly a person who's brand new to the sigil. But he says, no one dies at the sigil. Come on, they said it was safe. Because as you are doing these deals, it is agreed upon by everyone that when you get close, when you're overpowered, when you can't possibly win, you're welcome to yield in order to end the fight, show that you've lost, and then grab some healing items from around the area. And if you'll roll a brilliance roll.
What's that?
Just a d20. Modified by your brilliance, which is your first stat. I think it's called brilliance. Now I'm concerned.
Yeah
it is.
So
okay.
That's gonna be a 20. No, sorry. Yeah, 20.
You rolled a 20?
I rolled a 17.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then my modifier's 3, right?
On 20, you'll notice that this area specifically is actually missing the healing items. It seems like this corner of the arena hasn't been restocked. And you notice that the people who are normally around to, sort of facilitate the deals and the fights are not here, which is why the area seems a little more raucous and a little more shady than the other areas of the sigil that you've walked through. And
okay.
Whoa, okay.
Don't care.
The guy with the rapier attempts to get in past the guard of the two-handed axe and is rebuffed by the Camelos person whose name we don't know yet, but he is blocked basically and doesn't score a strike, and the guy with the trident behind you, the merfolk person, is like, come on, finish, I'm trying to get some food.
Take a puff of my cigar.
All right, the fight continues in front of you. Okay. And now that he has the momentum of having the other guy sort of limping, the camel tar, I guess we'll call it, finds another strike into maybe the side of this rapier person, and it scores across his side, and so there's a lot of blood coming out of both of them at this point.
Good job, chaps. Get him where it hurts. My voice, I know, I'm just gonna go with this voice.
Okay, perfect. Let's see here.
I'm very interested in the blood. I'm fascinated, and I want to know why they're not like, cleaning it up, or if it's not draining anywhere. I'm just like, hey.
Well, on your on your 20, there are stains in the arena, of different things. There are pock marks. You do actually note sort of old bent weapons as well that people have discarded. So time may, take away the blood and stuff, but it's really a bunch of sand. So if a fireball is cast and it explodes, that crater sort of stays there unless it's too big to navigate, and then someone will come out and fill it. And the camel tar strikes deep into the wrist of the rapier person as the rapier tries to get past, and the fight seems to be going south for the rapier gentleman.
How much blood is on the ground?
The blood is,
How are they
seeping.
still alive? I'm like, oh, these men are tough. Jeez.
There's
Which one do you think's gonna win, lady?
Well, odds are actually in the favor of the guy holding the sword. He was practicing earlier before this disagreement struck up. Apparently, they know each other.
Hey, they look the same to me.
They look the same.
People with weapons killing each other. That's what I like to see. I just, I need some of the, sometimes the blood is helpful with the potion making.
Potion making.
Curious if someone can collect something for me. I don't want to get in there.
Okay, yeah. Roll. I guess presence, because you are surrounded by people as you say that.
Okay. 20. Let's see. Roll. Oh God. I rolled a 1, so a 4.
Okay, 4.
Wait, a presence? No.
Yeah.
4. I love presence. This good looking guy.
The people around.
I like
just,
blood. Everyone, I have blood. You guys, some blood?
You're making a ruckus at this point. People are taking note of you. Like, what is this? Is getting
Blood.
weird.
Can someone collect the blood?
She eyes you sideways and she says, "Are you with some sort of are you with the military? Are you experimenting or something?"
I'm a scientist. Okay, I like medical scientist, sort of.
People take that pretty well. The medical field is really important to pretty much everyone, and then the fact that you're willing to do research, people respect that a lot. So they're like, "Oh, okay," it's sort of smooth.
I noticed that there's no one taking care of anyone here. There's no potions. I got a few on me, but I don't. I need more, and that's why I'm here.
Well,
maybe these guys have some blood in them that's coming out of them. Maybe it mixes together and it forms something that will enhance something. That's what we're doing.
Okay, the lady has moved away from you.
Do you hear that, everyone around me? Science.
She's like taking tabulations and stuff. Like, oh, I don't know, But as you're discussing blood, the more you say blood, the more it spurts out. The Minotaur scores a deep strike against the knee of the rapier and severs his leg off at the knee, leaving a stump and the leg lying there. And
hey, I could use that. Anyone here want to get that for me?
Are you gonna try
Warlock?
to use something else besides just talking to them?
No.
Do you have,
No.
Okay.
I'm just hooting and hollering here.
Well, there's a open space that's opened around you. Okay, this guy's kind of maybe too far, but as the person with the sword falls to the ground, he looks up and he locks eyes with the camel tar and he says, I yield, sort of not really wanting to, but saying that he wants to yield, so that the fight can end with the loss of his leg. And the camel tar steps over, picks up his axe, slams it down into the face of the rapier dude who's on the ground, smashing his head open and killing him in front of all of these people, all of these witnesses. There's a couple of cheers from, of course, it sounds like Itra from Bramwell. And then the crowd begins to disperse. Anyone who lost or anyone who got money comes over to the woman taking bets. She looks at you and says, "See, should have gotten in there."
I don't want to get in there. I would have died. What are you talking about?
She laughs. I mint into the action of the bets. It's money to be made, value here. The Cameltar walks away out of the arena, leaving the body of the person with the sword.
Fortunately, got his brain, so we can't use that. And the brother. Well, maybe I can talk to that Cameltar. I don't know if I can get some of his blood.
He seems really mad. So, if you're not going to,
well, I'm not talking to him. I'm just kind of saying. Okay. But never mind. And then I take a sip of gin, puff my cigar.
As we watch Bramwell mutter and think about the possibilities, the wind whips away to another adventure inside, because while there are walls, everything's open. And we come across... Here we are. We come across an old woman, and the name right real quick. I can't scroll. The name's too long. We come across the representative of the Sparks Society, standing next to a very old woman picking through some offerings. Food is pretty widely available in all sorts of food types that you might enjoy, whether it be vegetarian or vegan or raw. So everything's really available, and this elderly woman is going to call out to the representative. And who does she meet as she calls out?
All right. Well, as she calls out, she sees a very tall, lean-muscled half-orc who kind of has a graceful confidence as they approach when they inquire. Their hair is pulled up into a half ponytail, kind of a short one, and it's dark, and they're covered in dark green and brown clothing with some leather wraps around their arms and waist. And this is Rue.
This is Rue, okay. She's in that way of, sort of accepting people on face value as they are, just as another person. She, while looking through the food, looks over as Rue passes and says, "They don't make cream corn here like I would expect they would."
I don't know if they've ever really had cream corn that I've seen.
No? Oh. I should have brought my own, but unfortunately I've been busy baking cookies for the sigil.
Oh, you baked the cookies for the sigil?
Some of them. Have you seen our wagon of baked goods?
I haven't really been wandering the carts yet.
No? Oh, okay. Well, speaking of not wandering the carts yet, you seem like a fine gentleman. Would you be willing to help me pick out maybe I was looking for a locket or some sort of magical item but I don't know. My eyes aren't so good anymore. I was wondering if you could help me.
I mean, I can see things and I can describe them for you.
Okay.
Like, I don't know quality or magic or any of that stuff.
I don't want to take up your time. If you got stuff to do with the sigil, that's fine. I just saw you passing by and you struck me as someone who might help an old lady.
I said I could help. I just don't really know how much I can help. But what house did you say you're from?
Oh, I didn't specifically say, but you might have heard of us. Smithwell's Cookies and Fine Baked Goods.
I may have had a cookie or two at some point.
Oh, fabulous! If I could have a moment of your time, I could repay you with, cookies or pie. Do you like pie? Or, we do a fine mint cake. It's very refreshing.
You got any of those like little fruit cakes?
Fruit cakes. That's a divisive item. We do carry them, but they're hard to move except for certain times of the year.
I really enjoy that little fruit baked into those breads.
So this is Rue. Will you roll brilliance just to check this lady out?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's really very, very bad. -2.
This is the nicest woman you've ever met. she's exactly just super considerate and kind and really just looking for help. She looks directly at you and seems to have pretty good vision though. So, it would be kind of odd that this random person is asking for help in identifying items, but everyone sort of has their own goals. Would you follow her over to like a table of items that she indicated? So she sort of waved down. There are a lot of tables around that people are trying to hawk to their wares to people who are coming and going for food.
Yeah, Rue probably would follow her down.
Okay. She brings you to it's a basic table. It's got a cloth across it. There's a gentleman with a mustache behind the table, and then there's assorted jewelry on one side, and then a couple of weapons, mostly small stuff like knives and daggers and stuff, on the other end of the table. And he says, mistress, welcome back. Excellent. And did you come to purchase? And she says, I still don't know. I brought my friend here, and she like looks to you because she doesn't know your name,
Acquaintance, and the name's Rue.
Rue, perfect. Rue and I are looking for something for my granddaughter, but I don't know what I should get. And this dude does the like lean forward and like starts his spiel, and he's like, yes, of course. Well, if you're looking for something that's more protective, maybe a charm or something like that, I would suggest one of these lockets. It could be worn sort of around the neck at any time, while she's out. Who knows what might come up upon her, a beast in the woods or something. And then of course we have rings over here, which are nice and elegant, but these are finer value, and I don't know if I would wear them, in the common streets. She might get pickpocketed for her wealth or something like that. Perhaps I could interest you in a protection item like these daggers over here. These daggers were actually pulled out of a relic that was discovered in the far north. These daggers, as you can see, they have small inscriptions on them, and they indicate sort of which element they may be attuned to. So what can I get you? One of the lockets, perhaps? Rue, what do you think I should do? Does this seem like a good purchase?
There's a lot of stuff that I don't know. So, like, how old's your granddaughter?
she's nigh on 24 or so. You know,
And
she
did
just had a birthday, actually. She's 25.
All right. Well, it's not bad to have like daggers around for protection and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I'll just point to one and be like, "That one looks sharp." It's just a random one.
Okay. Do you want to like investigate the daggers or even the guy, or do you want any more info, or are you just gonna pick one at super random?
Just pointing at one super random.
All right. Well, let's say there's 6 of them. If you just roll like a d6 just to pick one at random, then.
Sure. 4.
So the dagger root indicates it's like a it's got a bone handle that's wrapped in maybe it could be leather, but it's sort of fraying, so it might not be leather. And then it has like a stone knife blade that is. It does have markings across it, definitely, and it's not glamorous. It's not fancy or anything like that. And the guy at the table says, "Ah, a fine eye on this one. Quite the keen investigator. Yes, this stone dagger, actually, when wielded, it does have protective properties that can allow the wearer, the user, the owner, if you will, to have a sort of barrier around them, although the exact incantation has been lost. I'm sure with a little bit of investigation, your granddaughter could find perhaps some set of words, maybe just," he leans forward, he's like, "maybe just say a bunch of words until something happens." Anyway, it's a wonderful purchase. Yes, I definitely recommend this. This is 20 silver sphere, and that's a lot of money, like a huge amount of money for something random. And the old lady's like, "Ooh, I don't know. Could I'm from far away, and the sigil is so arduous. Would you be willing to drop it down to 10 silver?" Ah, perfect. Yes, a negotiator, honest and true of you. I could do 13. I don't want to take advantage of you or anything. And the lady looks at you.
I just look back at her, blinking.
She just like blank stares at you for a second and then nods and says, okay. And she reaches into her dress, which has pockets, as they all do, and pulls out a bag and starts taking sphere out. And this bag is loaded, like full on loaded. And I'll take another brilliance roll from you.
Oh my gosh, I rolled the same thing.
Nice. Weighted die. All right. This is probably her only money purse then. Ruth's like, "Wow, this lady has a lot of money." And so she doles it out, and she takes the knife and wraps it. The gentleman says, perfect. Let me give you something to wrap it up in. And he hands over sort of an old worn piece of cloth. She wraps it up and puts it into another pocket somewhere. And she says, Thank you so much for your help and consideration, Rue. It's been wonderful to meet you. Come down to Smithwell's. I'll get you some cookies during the sigil.
All right, I might do that. But for now, ma'am, it looks like you're all set. So take care, and I'll just turn and start walking away now.
Okay, bye. She does a slow wave to the back of Rue and turns and walks away towards the House of Notes area. And as Rue walks down through the crowd, one of the, we'll call them porters, they're not servants, but they do help set up the royal house, set up the sigil and everything. He is walking past and looks at you, and since the Society for the Preservation... Okay, it's really long.
It's Society for the Preservation of Arboreal Retreats, Courtyards, and Spaces.
Right. Since you maintain a space here outside, you're well known to these porters. They've been coming for weeks, you know. So even after you arrived, they knew your compatriots who were taking care of the space if you weren't here. But you know, you've been introduced from time to time, so you recognize this gentleman as he walks up, and he just very quickly walks up and he says, "Ah, sir, I believe you dropped this apple." And he looks directly at your face.
I kind of nod cordially to him.
He holds up the apple towards you and looks around.
Can I do some kind of check to I don't know why he's trying to give me an apple.
Yeah, sure. I would say brilliance, but honestly, you'll probably fail. But I think presence makes sense as well if you want to roll presence, because you know, in this space you're pretty comfortable, and you recognize him and everything.
That's a 19.
So these porters have, you know, been talking to you from time to time, just about random stuff, you know, things that they need, or, you know, just hanging out in the shade of the trees that you grow. So he probably doesn't have any nefarious intent, you wouldn't say, and he is looking around like he's concerned.
Well, that's very kind of you. Whereabout did I drop it? I'll reach out to accept it.
So he leaves the apple in your hand. Underneath the apple is a piece of paper, and he says, "Oh, I just saw you drop it as I was walking into the building," and he walks away. And with that, I'll tell you what the paper says in a bit, but the wind blows out of the food area. Let's see, across the arena. In fact, we will cross to the other side, where we are very close to a wagon that has been crashed for some reason, and the person who owns and probably it will say that he is not the person who crashed said wagon, is walking into, let me actually grab him because I have him right here, is walking into this building right here with a drink in hand, from the Wagon Park Boys house. Shrimps, who do we find walking into this building from the outside?
We find Bubbles walking in, who doesn't drink.
Okay, this is not the character I thought it was gonna be. We find Bubbles instead. This is... Wait, is this... Alright, moving Bubbles in. I was expecting the other one. Alright, so who's Bubbles? Because I don't really know either. Besides, doesn't drink now.
Bubbles is sort of the brains of the Wagon Park Boys. He's
Okay.
He's got short blonde hair. It's plastered down onto his head. Got blue eyes. He wears some very thick spectacles that magnify his eyes to very strange proportions. Kind of looks like a bullfrog. He's very intelligent. He's knowledgeable about many things. He's an excellent negotiator and a mediator, and he has a strong affinity for kitties.
Kitties, okay.
Kitties, yes.
Do you think he would have brought a cat with him, or?
Oh, a cat? No, he most likely has about 7 or 9 in his wagon.
Okay, but they would probably
He's
be in
always
the wagon.
adopting strays. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a couple following him. I mean, he does feed them.
I don't know if I have any cats. Let me look real quick. Not there. Let's see here. Oh, we have a cat. This cat has 2 heads, I think.
No.
Or no, it's a small cat also. So we'll put. Oh wait, what the? Okay, so we find Bubbles walking in, a cat in tow. As he walks in from the outside, the light is dark on the inside, and he is sort of shouldered past by a figure, a bulky, odd-shaped figure in a black robe who pushes past him.
Okay. So Bubbles will turn around and give him a dirty look and go, watch where you're going. There's a kitty there. It's a nice fucking kitty.
This guy ignores you, well, this person ignores you entirely and keeps walking.
All right. Well, Bubbles will just brush it off and continue
Let
on
it
his
go.
way.
Okay. I don't know where that got dropped, but he's here. I'm just going to throw him outside real quick if I can. I can't. I don't know why I can't control that, but it doesn't matter. As Bubbles turns back from yelling, there is a very small gentleman in front of him, and accompanied right next to him by a very small woman, and they both say, yes, you made the smart choice. Yes, you came to see us instead of following that gentleman. Perfect opportunity here for you. Let me get you involved, and waves you over to their table right next to the entrance.
All right. Well, Bubbles will go over, he'd be a little cautious. Involved in what?
Yes, of course. The discerning eye would notice that we have here before you wonderful, they go by many names. We'll call them cauldrons or possibly urns or something like that. Maybe you want to be involved in our business opportunity. You look like a business person of some sort. Is that correct?
It depends on the business.
Perfect. Excellent. And the lady next to him says, it's so wonderful to have someone who's so vivacious here with us. Let's show you what we have. So if you want to get involved in our business opportunity, basically what we can hook you up with is the opportunity to make money without any effort on your part, unless if you do want to do effort and really get involved in the business, you can make even more. But passive income is really what we're looking for here. What do you say?
I'd say you're saying a lot of words without telling me much about what this business is.
Of course. Well, I don't want to beat around the bush here.
Well, you already have been.
No. Let's get right down to it then. Right down to it. And he slaps one of the cauldrons behind him, and he says, This is an opportunity unlike any you're going to find here at the Sigil. This is an opportunity to get in on the ground floor of a growing business involving not only money and wealth, but also these pots you see behind me here. How? You might ask why. Everyone needs pots, of course, pots, pans, things like that. But what if I told you there were opportunities to use those pots to make money passively?
How? Again, all I'm hearing is money, 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 passive.
Wow.
How?
Of course, when you get involved on, like I said, on the ground floor, what you'll find is you'll have a pot of your own, or a cauldron, if you will, and that cauldron will basically fill itself with money over time. You just have to sit back and relax. And then also, if you happen to find other like-minded individuals such as yourself, you could bring them into the organization as well, and everyone can make money together. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
Bill, how?
Bill? The cauldrons. Yes, of course.
Well, how are they filling themselves? Passive,
as you know,
with all this money.
Yes. Well,
no, I don't know, because again, it's a lot of words, very little information.
Of course. Roll. Let's see what he's gonna do. Okay, the as the man talks, the woman's going to sort of move behind you, and if you'll roll a d20 for grit. No, brilliance. We'll take brilliance.
All right. So, okay, 17, and with my modifier.
Oh my gosh.
19.
Okay, so she. While the man talks, she seems to be sort of trying to influence you, trying to make you feel like you belong, basically, like you're exactly where you want to be. And it seems like she's maybe casting a spell. You're able to see that something is odd, and it's not just the basic "hi, how are you doing?" She's actively trying to do something to you. But the man says, of course, so your cauldron will fill with sphere over time by involving your friends and everyone around you in this opportunity, because we don't want to just keep the money to ourselves. That's not what we're here to do at the Sigil. We're here to share it out to everyone. So what I can do for you is I can sign you up to get your own cauldron, your own. Well, you know, you're going to be making a lot of money, I can tell. We'll call it gold. I don't, you know, these other people, they're probably on a silver tier kind of level, but you're going to be making gold, I feel like. So we'll call it your pot of gold, and then we'll bring you in. We'll have you purchase that, and then once you're involved, we'll give you all the paperwork, all the information that you could possibly need in order to fill your cauldron. And also bring in other people so that you can share your wealth out to other individuals and also make more yourself. So I'll put you down for one cauldron, right?
While this guy is going on with his spiel, Bubbles casually takes a half step to the side to get away from this woman who is trying to influence him. Good luck.
Okay.
And glances down at his nice fucking kitty with him. And the cat turns and looks at the woman and sort of starts to crouch down. Okay, you know what? I don't think you're gonna sign me up for anything. Because this sounds kind of sketchy. Your fake outrage.
Sketchy? No. Look,
yes, it's very sketchy.
That's what a lot of people think. But look at all the money.
People are correct.
Look at all the money we've made here at the Sigil already. And he gestures to the table, and there are multiple pots of gold behind him. This short gentleman, he's in sort of like a suit, basically, very nice clothing, and he's basically level with the table, so he's looking up at two cauldrons that are filled with gold. See?
Okay. How do I know, as Bubbles reaches in and picks up one of these coins, that this isn't just some other kind of metal that you painted?
Okay.
Look like gold.
Definitely roll brilliance.
Oh my gosh. Okay, 22.
This metal is not gold for sure. the way currency works, sphere specifically, it's small balls of the different elements, right? So you got copper, silver, and gold, which is normal, but they have little etchings of magical a symbol on each side, and so it basically creates magical magnetism. So if this were gold sphere, they would sort of stick together in a way that would make them not roll away, just because they're basically balls of gold, right? So
okay, so
it comes up with no resistance. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So Bubbles places it on the table, puts the tip of his finger on it, and goes, I don't know. I mean, you might be telling me the truth. This could be legit, but I'm having doubts. And yes, I'm casting aspersions on your character. And then Bubbles flicks it with his finger, and it just rolls right away and off the table.
The woman from behind Bubbles is going to attempt to grab it before it rolls off, but it will be lost behind the table, unfortunately, somewhere on the ground. The man, of course, a little bit of sweat on his brow, but he says, no. Of course, I understand. You're discerning, and you got to make important choices with your money. Of course, that's what we all need to do.
Which is why I'm not investing in your business. Well, that would be the most important decision I could make today. Besides letting my kitty know that if this woman behind me doesn't back off, she's gonna learn the hard way.
Let me just reiterate, though, you can bring other people into the business. I see you're shrewd, and of course, you investing in the business is a pittance to how much you might make if you bring in other people. Of course, we would supply you with everything you need, so we would only make a portion of the amount that you would be making as you brought more people on board. They would be under you. You would basically be your own boss at that point.
I already am my own boss. I run the house.
Oh, you run your house. I did not recognize you as such a great figure. I apologize. Which house is that?
Yeah, I thought it's Sam's Squanch.
A Yeti down the hall looks up at that and is like, but no.
Bubbles glances down and says, "Don't worry about it. Compliment."
Which house may I make the amazing acquaintance of?
I just told you. Were you not listening?
Did you say Sam Squatch? The house of Sam Squatch?
Squanch. No, Sam Squanch.
I see. Yes. Okay. Well, wonderful to meet you, leader of the Sam Squanches. And I did see your associate down there. He sort of waves to the Yeti that's down the hall. That guy is ignoring y'all at this point. He's like, freaking short people. And so he the very, very short person who's trying to get you involved says, okay, well, I'll keep you on the list. I'll keep you on the books. Maybe we could talk about this as the sigil goes on. Maybe we could strike a deal or something along the way, and we'll find an accord. We have associates all over the empire, so maybe we could find something that suits your needs.
I doubt it.
Okay.
Well, you know what? You've got all these cauldrons full of money in front of you. Me saying no isn't going to put that big of a dent in your profit. Correct? Or are you admitting kind of, in an offhand way that, me saying no is going to cripple you financially?
No. Of course not. We want to share our opportunities with other houses at the sigil. That's it.
So generous.
So, of course, I appreciate your time. I'm going to let you go. I do see an individual there behind you who looks like a fine gentleman, a discerning figure as well. I'm gonna get him maybe involved, and I'll see you later in the sigil, and we could get back together and maybe renegotiate.
Yeah, maybe. Bubbles turns away and scoops up his kitty and walks off shaking his head.
Okay, perfect. the guy at the table and the woman immediately start their same spiel again. It's the same words. It's the same spiel with him as well. And the wind blows through this hall as well, way out, where we find a member of music walking the pathway near, we'll call it an encampment to start off. But which member of music do we meet over here?
That would be Gerald Whiffle.
Gerald Whiffle.
He would be he's sort of a shorter, sort of graying from the stress gentleman. He would have a very sort of wizard-looking hat on, but it would be a bit dishevelled.
Okay.
Probably looking a bit rushed.
Wizard.
But anything similar, it's fine.
Yeah. I'm just finding something here. That guy's dead. We'll go with this gentleman right here.
Bit of a delay on my end, but I'll catch up.
Hey, no problem. So, as you said, his name's Gerald?
Yes.
Gerald has been walking along the pathways, meeting individuals, checking out the wares. He comes to this corner of the sigil where there is a lot of commotion occurring. There's what can only be described as a ball of individuals kicking and slamming into each other, fighting, biting, different colored skin all throughout, mixing together. But anyone who's ever encountered at least one of them would know that there are goblins all fighting each other, and there is one elf standing with them, sort of occasionally kicking into the ball and occasionally being bitten by some of the goblins involved. And I'll have you immediately roll a grit roll.
Okay. Oh, one sec.
All right, I'll just... Oops.
Oh, God. 8.
Okay. A cup of some liquid of something strikes into the knee of... It strikes into your knee and sort of coats your pants with a liquid from the ball somewhere.
I'd look down at my sort of robes, my official robes. Oh, what is this?
The fighting continues. Nothing
I'd
changes.
sort of stomp over.
Okay, stomp over. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, who's doing this? What is going on? Why am I getting involved?
They all sort of ignore you. Some of them are throwing things into the pile. The elf is now in the center of like a circle, and they're all sort of like slamming into his legs and stuff, and biting each other. He's whacking down with a cane or a sign that he's ripped off, from the area. He's smacking down into the ball, and I'll have you do it again because more stuff is being thrown your way.
Oh, God.
I don't know where my thing went, but whatever.
17.
Okay, so now that you know they're coming, this one misses you, flies past. This one was a rock, a rather, two-hand sized rock that flew past Gerald's head.
Sure.
They're screaming, cussing, saying random goblin things to each other.
I'm wondering if I could try and just blast some wind at them to try and break them up.
Yeah, sure.
Fact,
if you wanna blast.
Try it. He's not very good at combat, but
I'm just gonna roll.
I would give it a go.
For,
see how well that goes. 9.
All right, I'm
I've got a -5 modifier on that.
Okay, well,
so 9.
Which goblin? Because there's so many. I'm just gonna take the first one I have here. So 6. Okay, yeah. So you sort of interrupt their ball of fighting, and I would say over a dozen green and gray and brown and a little blue hue faces stop, still gripping each other, and all look at you all at the same time because you have cast something at them. They resisted, of course. It didn't do any damage or anything.
That was the intention anyway, yeah.
Yeah. It does blow past them, and they all stop, and then as one, they all start yelling, what are you doing? Hey, you can't be messing with us. Hey, what's happening over there? It's like a dozen different voices all screaming random stuff at you.
All right, what's the meaning for this? Look at me robes. Why are you acting like this? Keep it to the arena.
They disentangle and all come over here and swarm around you. They're all looking at your robes, and they're like, "Oh, these are disgusting robes. Your robes are disgusting." And some of them are like, "I'll take them. You don't want them? I'll take them. I could use new robes." And then they obviously wouldn't fit, right? And some of them are sort of pulling on you already.
Now, you be the ones who messed up my robes. If you want your own, you can get them. You just have to join.
What do you mean join?
Various courses.
We're already in houses. What? We don't need your house.
I'm not saying join my house. I'm saying join the course.
Courses? Can we eat it?
No, but you could learn how to make better food.
Better food. They all look around and start discussing. Some of them, go back to see what's in their stew pot, and it's just a bunch of sludge that's in there. And honestly, the biggest goblin you've ever seen, troll-sized goblin, steps forward, says, "Hey, what's this going on? We're having a ruckus. Don't interrupt."
Yeah, your ruckus hit me though.
He
you interrupted me.
Looks at you and says, "Nah, it was like that when you got here."
It definitely was not. Look, why don't you just keep it to the arena over there? You can all have fun in there. There's walls.
Sure, we can go to the arena. And he starts flexing and getting ready, and he's got all of his muscles taut, and he gets his weapons. He's like, "Let's go then. We'll settle this in the arena."
Not saying I'm going in the arena. Look, you've ruined my robes. I can't go into that arena with gross, awful robes. Oh, I meant you lot. You throw rocks and things. What if you killed someone? You'd all be kicked out.
They're all laughing. They're all laughing. They look at each other, and the big one says, "Branch, mirror." And another goblin comes over. This one looks like it's trying to look like you. It's also wearing robes. It's got a staff. It comes over and it says, yeah, I saw what happened. This guy tried to get our robes dirty." And he points at you, making it seem like you tried to get their robes dirty.
No, I bloody didn't.
I saw
you
it.
did it to me. Well, I saw it. I saw you.
No, you came over here. You started throwing liquids. We were having a fine discussion about food.
Why would you? I'm the one covered in liquid. Why would I throw it at myself?
Exactly. And Branch walks away. And Arms is staring at you still, and he says, "Well, there you have it.
Bloody hell. You're a bunch of hooligans.
The elf in the center is just like standing there silently watching.
I sort of look at him because he's the odd one out.
Yeah.
Are you with this lot?
He comes over as well. I'll just move this guy away. He comes over. He says, oh, this should have been your character. Oh, well. He says, yes, of course. I am with the green pile. Yes. Welcome to our establishment. And he sort of waves around to all these random tents and junk.
And what exactly have you established here?
Why, a campsite, of course. In the Goblin way. I'm learning their methods and their ways. It's fascinating if you really get down to the nitty-gritty of how things work between the different houses, the different clans. It's a wonderful experience. Right.
I'm guessing you were bored and you just needed something to research, because I mean...
No. I'm part of an exchange program.
Oh God. Is your house okay? You know, your original?
Of course, yes. We wanted to broker ties between the goblins to the south, so we have been involved in an exchange program. I spend time with the green pile. Well, sometimes I'm with the House of Five Torches, sometimes I'm with the stack of rocks. You know, I move around, but I'm really learning about these cultures. It's incredible. Arms, by the way, is picking his nose at the same time.
Right.
Now,
and how's that going for you?
I did notice that Arms challenged you. Did you want to hop into the ring with him? Maybe do a little one-on-one? Maybe you could be involved in our exchange program as well, and we could learn about your house and culture.
Well, no. I'm not the champion of my house. I don't do that kind of thing.
Well, a little exercise never hurt anyone, right, Arms? And Arms says,
It literally has. I twisted my ankle the other day. It was awful.
Arms is doing squats. Of course. Us intellectuals, well, I wouldn't really consider myself just an intellectual anymore. I, of course, am we'll call him, what should his name be? I didn't name him. Merwin. My name is Merwin. I'm of the House of Grain, and these are my compatriots. This is Arms, of course. The person you just met is a nice Branch. He just goes by Branch, and it would take too long to name these other goblins, but
it was a pretty nice Branch, to be honest.
Indeed, yes. He carries it everywhere. Branch is in the back, just waving his branch around in the air with both hands. So, you mentioned intellectual pursuits yourself. Are you a master of said craft?
Well, I handle, the business side of the thing, but I do represent the House of Music, that being the Magical User Society Integration Community.
Arms.
We offer many courses.
Arms goes completely blank as you say more than 5 words. But the elf says, I've heard of the music courses. We have several members enrolled in some of them, and it would be very interesting, I think, to maybe get some of these goblins involved. Do you think you would have courses that may relate to their experiences?
Well, I think they're in desperate need of some culinary magic, of course. Definitely.
Of course. He
definitely could do some improved techniques.
He rubs his stomach and sort of pats a satchel on his side as if he's got food for just himself in there.
Yep.
Perfect. Yes. Well, as an intermediary, I would be willing to work with you as, enrolling these fine individuals in courses such as this. And if you'll roll brilliance, I guess, on this.
Oh God, 7.
7. Okay, yeah. He seems like he's having fun talking to you. So, he just kind of wants to continue the conversation. Maybe have 10 minutes or so not involved in any goblin shenanigans. So he indicates some seating area or something like that nearby. A lot of them are broken or upside down or buried or covered in something, but he does indicate some that seating arrangements that might be acceptable, and he says, would you like to have a discussion this way?
Yeah, he looks down at his robes and just gives up. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Perfect.
Leave these perhaps just a little bit further away, though. Just the next set's just it's a barrier between for any further missiles.
Of course. We could go maybe discuss in the eating hall, the food hall, as it were, inside.
Yes. Maybe I'll get some cloths and clean this up as well.
So as the two walk away and into their discussion, a horn is blown far away in the distance. And it sort of generally indicates that the sigil is going to begin. The actual beginning. Everyone has been here for several days or possibly longer, depending on how long it took to set up. But as the horn is blown, people begin to gather all around the edges of the arena. People are coming closer and bringing food. Some of them are having porters bring large chairs up so that they can see the proceedings without discomfort. So people are gathering all over around the edges of the arena, expecting something great. The beginning of the sigil is always a very lavish display of wealth and power. And the horn blows closer and then closer, signifying that something is coming. In the distance, you all hear, as you gather around as well, you hear a faint sort of tapping off in the distance, occasionally interrupted by a horn that is on the same cadence, but not happening over and over. It's just and then coming closer, and that rhythm begins to grow louder and louder, and it gets closer. Let's see here. And as the horns near, I will have you, I guess right now, all roll brilliance. Oh, I don't have... Okay, I'll just do
23.
Gosh.
So not 20.
Anyone else got brilliance rolls?
22. Sorry.
Okay, sick. Okay.
I got
13.
You're good. You're good.
15 for me.
Okay, that works out. And then the horn keeps getting closer and closer. I'll also have you roll all grit just right now. Shrimps?
17.
Oh, I trust 17 shrimps.
Trying to math it. 8.
Okay.
11 minus 3?
Yeah, that's quick math. All right, who else? Fair?
13.
Oof. And Iker.
I also rolled an 8.
Oh, dang. All right, cool. Let me just do a quick roll real quick. Oh, that doesn't count. That doesn't count either. I wanted to like roll it. All right. Normally I would say I agree, but the system isn't what I'm used to, so I thought I was just creating it, you know. Anyway, the number kept going down every time I rolled, so it doesn't actually matter, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. So there in the distance, you hear the horn coming closer, and then, like I said, of a repetition of noises, and then once it seems like everyone's as close as they can be around the edges, drummers appear on the horizon and start walking into the arena, all dressed the same in the house of the Hearth and House colors. They're all wearing red and white, all filing in. They are wearing the same clothes, all the same, marching at the same beat to their rhythm of drums. And people are honestly kind of bored. You know, drums aren't interesting. So you hear a lot of people muttering around you like, oh, this is, what is this? This doesn't make sense, you know? I'm sure some of them are like, I hope we get to eat them, or, you know, something like that. But there are all sorts of comments around. The arena begins to fill over and over as row upon row of these drummers are coming in. And there's no flamboyant acts or anything. They're just walking in, and the drums just get louder and louder and fill the arena space. And they're filing in. People are getting up to get drinks and leaving, or just it would be bad manners, and really, because the king can see everyone there on his dais in the center as he is surrounded by drummers. Most people don't leave permanently. They come back, but the arena fills and fills and fills with drummers. Hundreds of drummers file into this space, all continuing to march the same rhythm. The ground is sand, so it's not really taking in their steps, but their drums are bum, 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 loud in your ears. Eventually, no one can hear anything else. The king, as the last person steps into the arena, the last drummer, the king raises his hand, and all of the drummers keep the same beat. Ba, 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 ba. A firework goes up into the air. Everyone hears as it goes up, and the drummers finish what sounds like their repetition. They go ba, 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 ba. The firework explodes, and every single drummer disappears out of the arena in an act of magic that would be unbelievable to anyone who even heard of it, much less seeing it all occur in front of you. Something that took 30 minutes to build up finishes with a vanish act, and the crowd loses their minds. Like, the amount of power it would take to do this is incredible. And so they're all immediately saying, like, how did they do that? What do you think this means? What are we, like, how do you vanish that many people all at once? The crowd is losing their minds, right? And as they discuss, the king lowers his hand, and people want to know what it means. They want to know what's happening. And the king steps forward to the front of the dais. You all know him as Heavy Hearthen, the king of the empire. And he begins a speech. It goes like this. Citizens of this great empire, leaders and representatives of your respective and well-respected houses, members of what I consider a single unified house. He has a big voice coming out of his big body. He's taller than most people, dark hair, big sword on his back, classic knight look, although he doesn't often take the field. Behind him is his steward Bisk, just sort of overlooking the proceedings. Bisk didn't move at all during the entire thing, just stood there and waited, and the speech continues. It is my great honor to welcome you to another sigil. Each year as we gather to promote the greatest benefits possible to all members of our nation, we celebrate too the successes of the previous year. And what a year it was. We saw great strides forward in the quality of life for all of our peoples. We found ourselves in the path of dark tidings from the horizons, both in the form of weather events and also nefarious dealings. You know, people make comments on that. Some people know, some people don't. They just, you know, there's a murmur that goes up, and we turn them aside with our combined might. And we saw profits and value surge in all walks of life, be they monetary or creative pursuits or far-flung ideas. And he raises his hand again, and porters, members of his house, all move to these wheels that are around the dais here. They move and begin cranking. The kunk, 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 kunk begins as they turn these wheels, and I forgot his name, but Fair, you and Bubbles, you clock that people in cloaks, specifically like the one that bumped into Bubbles specifically, but you've seen these people in cloaks sort of wandering around all over. As these gears begin to turn, they're exiting, they're leaving. Wherever they are, they're turning away. You might see 2 or 3 around the area. And the gears begin to turn, and the king continues his speech, and he says, on the cusp of this burgeoning wave, I invite you to join us in one of our most recent breakthroughs. This coming year is bright and full of unmatched potential. The gears are opening sort of a no one necessarily knew, but there's a space that opens in front of the king here, and it's opening wider and wider as the gears turn. And where was I? Oh, he says, we will see the future of this empire truly start here with our efforts, and the world as we know it will change in new and exciting. And here the king pauses and looks forward, and a large stone monolith has been coming up out of the ground as these things crank. The king stops and rushes forward, and the crew stops cranking. He sort of looks very concerned, and they're open for anyone to see. On the edge of this monolith is a body laying sort of strewn across it. Before most of the monolith can come out, it's obvious to everyone. The king rushes over, and the body laying there is a woman whose name is Lance Harthen. It is his daughter. She's wearing their colors as well as a lot of gold and feathers. She's known for her aviary pursuits. She likes, birds and that sort of thing. So she's laying there. He rushes forward off of the dais, and he gets there, and he opens his hands to take in this scene. His daughter, the future king, and the person who invited you all to the sigil, laying there dead, and he lets out a scream from below his stomach, somewhere in his soul, and he just screams, "Ah!" And he reaches back and pulls his sword off of his back. It's a two-handed, very large sword, iconic. There are tales all over spoken about it. And his nostrils flare and his eyes go like crazy with insanity of grief and loss. And as his scream ends, he rams his sword into her body, through her body and into this monolith. And upon doing so, a sphere of force blows out. An actual physical sort of wind sphere blows out, and I'll just roll it physically. Ooh, God. Rue, Bubbles, and Fair, you take 4 points of damage as this sphere knocks you down into the sand, slams you down. The sphere blows through everyone. It knocks over drinks. It pushes people down. It throws people into and out of their seats, and it surrounds the sigil. It surrounds the space. And as his cry leaves, or as his cry ends, he screams, "No one leaves until whoever is responsible is brought to me." And he backs away, never losing focus on his now dead daughter, back to his seat, and sits in his seat and, does the brooding sort of motion with his fingers, stares at her, stares at the top of this monolith, and the sigil empties. Everyone who can leaves his sight. Everyone leaves the space. They all go back to discuss wherever they need to, but the sphere remains. The sphere surrounds the space and does not dissipate as other magic would. And as you all leave as well, you can change characters if you want, but we will pick up your characters probably all sitting around several tables here in the center, as many people are sitting and discussing what happened and what it means and all of that stuff. So does anyone want to switch characters while we have this break?
Can I know what that note said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will DM that to you because you would read it in your own space. It's very brief.
Oh, can I ask what HP do we start with?
It's your grit.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
I'll stick with Gerald, and I'll probably be there clutching my face because I've probably took something to the nose. Like, ow. Ow.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so we're gonna have Gerald. Everyone else sticking with characters. We'll just have like a sort of get together meeting, and then we'll end there. We're reaching our threshold for time. I know. Cool. So the arena remains empty. Everyone is outside of the arena at this point. Many are discussing what happened. Many are saying, many are continuing on with the things they would normally do at the sigil, making deals. They're more hushed than normal, but you can still find any sort of food being cooked, and there are still people working on weapons, and you also find people discussing, as you are in the food area. It's difficult for me to call it any specific thing because there are so many different races who may be eating something. So, yeah. You're all in maybe 2 tables right next to each other, looking for answers. Anybody got any thoughts, discussion? It's difficult because you don't know each other, but a serving woman probably would come by from time to time, someone who has either been hired by the Hearth and House or has created the drinks themselves. Steps up and says, "Whew, it's been a wild ride. So a sigil so far, wild sigil. What are y'all having, sir with the ponytail?"
I need a whiskey.
Sure, yeah, we got several different. I'll bring you the finest. Why not? That's what we're here for. Do you need a towel for your robes, sir?
Yeah, and my nose. Yeah.
Sure enough, I'll get you some. I'll have someone whip up some cold water, and I'll get it on a towel for you. You, sir, with the glasses.
Yeah, I'll just have some water.
Water, perfect. Yeah, easy to come by in the desert, no problem. And you fine feathered gentlemen, by feathers, of course, I mean your accoutrement, your clothes looking dashing. How can I help you?
How you doing? How's it going?
Well, thank you for asking. I'm doing great.
I like your outfit. I like how you look.
Thank you. Yes. I brought my finest for the sigil, and now.
Well, you're looking fantastic today. I gotta say, it just.
Thank you.
I think I speak for everyone probably here that you're just too good to look at. That's why we like to look down.
Okay. Okay. So drink,
free. Are we gonna do like free drinks then?
Of course.
Oh,
everything.
If it's free, I'll get a drink as well, please.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Because someone charged me earlier.
Well, our
so can I get a refund for that? Can I get a refund?
Charge you for what, dear?
Well, I got beef pot pie. I got some snails, and then a bottle of the red stuff.
Well, sounds like you might have been dealing with one of the vendors. Everyone's welcome.
No, it was from here. It was definitely from here. They said I didn't pay. I paid, and then they charged me more than I should have.
Well, I can ask around. Do you know who you purchased it from?
It looked like someone like you.
Uh-huh. Well, it's only me and my steward here, so my steward is a 7-foot tall troll. He's got is that him? He's got bands around his arms and stuff.
Never mind. I'll just have some of the snails because I brought my own gin, so I'll just have some escargot.
Okay. She leaves and comes back with drinks as you all sort of just endure this space, this awkwardness together. And she says, "Are y'all in a house together?" As she lays the drinks out, she's like, "What do y'all think of this sigil? What are we gonna do here?"
Well, of course, I'll offer my services and all that. Some very, very mighty magic that was going on.
Services with the military?
Oh no! I'm with the House of Music.
Oh, so you play music?
No, God, no! Don't talk about that. Ugh. No, we're the Magical User Society of Integration and Community.
Right.
You know, we're the one that do the courses.
Of course. Yeah, the courses, right. I get a pamphlet from time to time. I think
colouring magic would be wonderful for you. That would be a great course.
Right. Yeah, well, are you saying my cooking's not good enough, or...
Well, you could make it quicker for yourself.
I mean, I whipped up these snails, lickety-split. She hands out like a bowl of snails, I guess.
Does anyone know why we're here? Does anyone? I have no idea. We just got an invitation, and I didn't even know if I want to come. I honestly don't even know what the hell I'm doing here. Well, now I can't leave. We're kind of screwed. So,
well, how you can't just turn up at the sigil and not know why you're here.
I don't even know how you could exist in this place and not know what the sigil was.
You'd been living in the clouds or something.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Clouds of smoke.
Well, why don't you explain this thing then? What are we doing here? I'll take some puffs here, and you tell me here.
I'm not your teacher. I have a kitty to take care of.
I want music, man.
Serving lady, do you have any fish?
Yeah, we can whip up some fish. Now, is this a note? Raw fish, of course. Boneless or bone in?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, I'll be right back. She walks away to. There are some storage things on the outside, so she leaves fully to go get those.
Maybe music man. Maybe you killed this lady.
Now that is a very serious accusation right there. I'll have you take that back.
Yeah, people are taking note of that for sure. All around you.
Did anyone actually get like a good look? Was that really Lance?
I think, judging by the king's reaction, that was definitely her.
My question is, was anyone close enough to see if she was already dead before the king shoved his sword into her?
I think he had the best view, really. I mean, it's up to his judgment, but don't think that matters too much now.
You don't think it matters that perhaps she was alive until he shoved his sword into her?
Well, it doesn't matter. He would have done it if she was dead or if she was alive. The results are the same.
Doesn't make sense to stab her when she's already dead, though.
I don't think he's... We all process things differently, I guess.
It's quite a violent reaction to a child.
It's definitely a first.
Not that we know of.
Well, no, we deal with magic. It's definitely a first.
So you know about like what sort of power that would have taken to do that display then?
No, because it's a first. Never seen anything like it.
What about those guys in the cloaks that just kind of like disappeared?
Yeah, it was a bit off. Yeah.
I mean, normally they should just like reappear pretty quick, like, right?
Can I look around to see if any of them have like reconvened in the hall, as we would be expecting?
Yeah, definitely roll brilliance, and then you're all welcome to if you want to look around and see what you see.
22.
God. All right. Anyone else?
This is some good gin. I've already solved it, by the way. It's clearly the steward. And also, I got a question for you all. Did you notice he said that was his daughter and that was going to be the next king? Wouldn't it be queen? Maybe it's a boy.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I said that.
What, are you saying a woman can't be king?
Yeah, exactly. What?
Just not the correct. I mean, we as people who live in the clouds, we don't really concern ourselves with the grounded folk as much. We try to recruit here and there, but not my king.
So
I don't know this person.
Just Bubbles just sits there sipping his water, petting the kitty, laying on his lap, and giving the guy the side eye.
The woman comes back with the fish in sort of like a flat, open earthen bowl so that she can lay it down wherever the cat needs it. It's got an entire fish. It's like, I don't know, at least a foot long, if not more. She says, here it is. Anything else I can get y'all?
Can I ask something that isn't snails?
Right, yes. The Empire's provided quite a lot of options. What are you thinking? Hearty, light?
Light, please.
Okay. I'll bring some apps to the table for y'all. And she heads off to pull an assortment of stuff, but on the cloaked figures, the people who saw them leaving, you saw them like physically leave, like turn away, go into buildings, depending on where you were standing. They didn't vanish, so they walked away, but they have been seen around the area, in the past leading up to the sigil, but that's not unnatural because there are so many different races and types of people that some of them are sun sensitive, some of them are just minding their own business and don't want to be talked to or something like that. So there are quite a few people who wear cloaks. It's just odd that there were several that moved almost in unison to leave before the monolith began rising.
None of their cloaks had any defining features that would make them slightly different from others?
No, they're not even. Yeah, they're not even uniform to each other. They are all sort of like different shades of gray. The people who saw them may have seen like a very dark one and then maybe a lighter one, fully covering face, fully covering arms, and then they would have been wearing maybe dark clothing underneath or any really color clothing, and then boots if you happen to get a good look at them as they left.
I got a question. Do you guys know if the Pleasure Palace is part of this sigil thing? Did they send any representatives?
You would all know that they would be expected to be here. None of you. Well, I guess anyone who
can
wants
I roll?
To see if yeah, roll to see if your brilliance, or let's roll presence actually. Anyone who wants to also.
Presence. That's 21.
Okay. You probably visited and spoke about going, and anyone at the House of Palms would have said, yeah, we send someone every year, or we send our delegation every year. So they definitely said that they were coming.
Right. I look at my steampunk watch.
Yeah.
So I got a meeting at the Pleasure Palace.
Right.
I gotta go, you guys. I don't know who you guys are, but it was fun.
Yeah, can I just give you a little bit? No, can I just give you a little bit of advice? Right. I don't think you should be spouting your political views around. You're going to get yourself in a bit of trouble, I think. And certainly don't go around accusing people. That's how you end up in the arena.
I mean, it's kind of, if they did it, they did it.
And yeah, you just be careful.
I mean, I got I could put my glasses on and I'll have more eyes next time, maybe. I don't know what you want.
You don't have more
Want some
rolling
gin
cake.
before I go? I'll leave a. You know what? For you guys, I'll leave a. Thing of my gin. Take it off.
Did you make this?
I just carry them around, because I brew. Here.
You made this yourself?
Right here. Have some gin on me.
Thank
Did you
you.
make this gin yourself?
Oh yeah, we brew probably the finest gin in the land here. The best botanicals we grow with our stuff, gadgets. It filters it through charcoal and sand
Bubbles
and
pushes
steam.
his bottle of gin slowly towards the guy in the damp robe. Here, you can have this.
We also have a non-alcoholic version too, but I don't bring that with me.
I'm fine. I got my water.
It tastes pretty bad though.
Where do you get those botanicals?
But we grow them.
In
What
the
do you
air?
Or we grow them in like the test tubes, like a little flask.
That's not. What?
That's
what do you mean?
definitely, not proper care for plants.
Oh no, yes it is. I mean, you should come and see our hydro gardens.
I would be interested in that, actually.
It's run off of steam and water, which is steam. Water, which is just heated water, and it turns into steam. So it's all just water.
As he
We're very clean.
gives you the
Everyone lives in a
information.
very high society. We're all dressed like this, like brown and browns.
Right.
Everyone has a car. No one lives in the gutters in Coggington.
What's a
So I have to go visit the Pleasure Palace.
So as he gives you this hydroponic information and also makes his way towards the Pleasure Palace, because you have similar interests, not necessarily all four of you, but 1-to-1 maybe, except for Bubbles. You sort of make it.
Might be interested in this hydro stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, you all agree to meet up after discussing things with your respective house champion or steward, depending on which one you're playing, or which one you are. But you agree to meet up on the next day after a night of reflection and inspection, and you break away after getting your apps. Of course, you got wings, nuggets, celery. I don't know what apps are. I don't really order them, but anyway, the apps arrive and
Barbecue sauce.
yeah, definitely. So you all head back to your respective places, but with the agreement that you'll meet up the next morning in order to not only learn more about the hydroponics, so I guess that's where we'll meet up next time, but also about your situation currently. And we'll call it there as the end of the first episode of the Ashien Mystery.
Ooh.
Wow,
Thank you.
Thanks, housemates.
Yeah.
Gotta go to the
Snaps,
Pleasure
oh, yeah.
Palace.
All right, enjoy the Pleasure Palace.
That can happen off screen.
Yeah.
Is that the name? Was that the name of the place across the water? I forget.
House of Palms.
House
But
of
it's-
Palms. Okay.
Yeah, it's known as a Pleasure Palace. It's a spa, fine foods, relaxation, meditation.
Yeah. So Bramwell's from.
Yep, where Bramwell's from. Exactly. Which is probably why he's looking for him. Cool.
All right. When's the next one?
Every Friday at 5.
Okay. Okay.
So 2 hours previous from now, every Friday. We'll intro Gob next time too, so that he can be here.
Okie dokie.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks for
fun.
playing, everyone. Deuces
Thanks.
Itro.
Yeah.
like I said previously, this episode probably more like me just talking and introing stuff and getting everything set up, but the concurrent episodes will be more like specific mystery investigation or chasing leads or learning or whatever.
Yeah, I sucked at Clue. I just want to put that out there. So I'm not good at mysteries.
Well, that's fine. This story, now that you know what the mystery is, in my opinion, or in my knowledge, I designed the end of it to have multiple different options. So it's not just solve it this way or find the specific thing. There are more options that will become available over time. But you can't leave. Which is why Gob's character...
We're stuck in the Hotel California?
Exactly. The Sigil California. Gob isn't playing the character that he chose, but it's absolutely broken for the setting, and he came up with it without any knowledge, but then he chose not to play it. So
wait, is this the seagull brain control thing, or is this something different?
No, he originally created a socialist commonwealth, so they were all equals, they all pulled their own weight, there was no money, right? And they all wore a red star, but they were all commoners. And what they would do is, in a fight or whatever, they all had an ability where they could grab their star and swap body spaces with someone else wearing the star. So if you were fighting one of them and you like cut off an arm, they would like panic and grab their star and swap into another one as long as they were close enough. So he would have been able to get information outside the sigil immediately if he wanted to, but he chose not to play it. So yeah.
Sounds good.
What a cool concept. Anyway, yeah, thanks for playing. Hopefully it becomes more interactive in the next sessions. I think it will, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was a fun intro.
Cool. Thank you. Have a wonderful whatever. I'll let y'all go, and I'll raid my stream into Telescope, and that's it. Thanks for watching, also, all of you people. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I know it's you.
Have hearts. Have hearts. Have hearts. Have hearts.